Imagine standing on the deck of a ship, the waves crashing relentlessly against the hull, your entire fortune vanishing into the depths of an unforgiving sea. In that moment, as everything you've built crumbles before your eyes, what rises within you? Rage? Despair? Or something far more profound? A quiet resolve that whispers, "This too shall pass." This is the story of Zeno, a man whose world shattered in an instant. Yet from those ruins emerged a philosophy that has armored the souls of emperors, slaves, and seekers for over 2 millennia. But what if I told you that Stoicism isn't just ancient wisdom? It's the hidden key to becoming truly undefeatable in a world designed to break you? Stay with me, because by the end of this exploration, you'll see why embracing this mindset could transform your greatest losses into your most powerful victories. Let's journey back to 300 BC, to the sun-baked shores of Cyprus. Zeno wasn't born a philosopher. He was a prosperous merchant, his ships laden with treasures from distant lands. On one fateful voyage from Phoenicia to Piraeus, disaster struck. A storm, merciless and impartial, swallowed his vessel whole. Cargo worth a lifetime's labor, gone. Wealth, security, status, erased in the blink of an eye. Now, pause here and reflect. How would you respond if fate stripped away your hard-earned life in a single, uncontrollable twist? Would you curse the gods, spiral into bitterness, or could there be another path? Zeno chose the latter. Wandering the streets of Athens, destitute but unbroken, he sought solace in the words of Socrates and other thinkers. From this crucible of loss, Stoicism was forged, not as a shield against pain, but as a lens to see through it. But before we unravel the core tenets that made Zeno's philosophy timeless, consider this. In our modern frenzy of notifications, deadlines, and endless distractions, we've forgotten how to face the inevitable storms. What if the secret to unshakable peace lies not in avoiding them, but in redefining them entirely? At its heart, Stoicism is the art of radical acceptance. It's not about suppressing emotions, as many mistakenly believe today, picturing Stoics as emotionless robots, impervious to joy or sorrow. No, that's a shallow distortion. True Stoicism is a profound way of being, a framework for interpreting the chaos of existence. Zeno taught that while the world hurls events at us, betrayals, failures, even triumphs, we hold absolute dominion over our inner response. Think of it. A colleague undermines you at work, a relationship fractures, or illness strikes unexpectedly. These are externals, beyond your grasp. But your judgment of them? That's yours alone. By reframing these as neutral occurrences, neither good nor bad, until we label them, we reclaim our power. Yet, here's the suspenseful twist. This indifference isn't cold detachment. It's the gateway to profound freedom. What happens when you stop fighting the uncontrollable? This philosophy didn't emerge in isolation. Zeno gathered disciples in the bustling Stoa Poikile, the painted porch of Athens, sharing ideas openly with all, slaves, merchants, nobles alike. Unlike exclusive schools of thought, Stoicism was democratic, cosmopolitan even, coining the term to mean citizen of the world. It championed equality in an era of rigid hierarchies, welcoming women to study and practice when society deemed it unthinkable. Musonius Rufus, teacher to the great Epictetus, argued fiercely, "Why should virtue be reserved for men alone? Women, too, crave noble deeds and reject the base." This inclusivity fueled its spread, drawing figures like Epictetus, a former slave whose name meant acquired, Seneca, the statesman advisor to emperors, and Marcus Aurelius, ruler of Rome itself. These weren't armchair thinkers. They lived Stoicism amid real turmoil, Epictetus endured torture without flinching. Seneca faced exile and forced suicide with calm. Aurelius governed through plagues and wars, journaling his meditations as a reminder to stay grounded. But why did such diverse souls gravitate to this path? The answer lies in its promise. In an unpredictable world, Stoicism offers not just survival, but mastery over the self. If this content is making sense to you, click the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Now, imagine a life where unexpected setbacks don't derail you. We don't grieve because bad things happen. We grieve because they catch us off guard. Rain isn't inherently evil. It nourishes the earth, cools the air. Yet, when it soaks us without warning, frustration boils. Why? Because we've failed to anticipate the inevitable. Stoicism urges us to expect the worst, not in pessimism, but in preparation. Visualize the direst outcomes: job loss, heartbreak, mortality itself. By mentally rehearsing these, we strip them of their terror. But here's where it deepens. One Stoic practice, voluntary discomfort, builds this resilience like forging steel in fire. Sleep on the cold floor, forego luxuries, endure hunger for a day. These aren't masochistic trials. They're reminders that you can thrive with less. In our ad-saturated age, where happiness is peddled as the next gadget or status symbol, this exercise cuts through the illusion. What if stripping away the excess revealed that true contentment was within you all along? Yet, beware the trap of external attachments. It's a subtle poison that Stoicism exposes with brutal clarity. We chase cars, homes, relationships, believing they'll fill the void. But cars rust, homes can burn, bonds can shatter. Seneca warned, learning to live with less creates space for what truly matters. Place your worth in intrinsics, your character, your choices, not in fleeting possessions. Why does this matter now more than ever? Because society's siren song whispers that without more, you're incomplete. Stoicism counters, happiness stems from virtue, not validation. But pause. What if this pursuit of externals is the very chain binding you? The revelation awaits in Stoicism's cornerstone principle, one that could redefine your entire existence. Enter the dichotomy of control, Epictetus's masterful insight. Distinguish what you command from what you don't. Your opinions, desires, aversions, these are yours. Whether, others' actions, outcomes, these are not. Strive for goals, yes, but don't tether your self-worth to results. Consider the creator uploading a video. The idea, research, editing, all controllable. Views and algorithms, unpredictable. Judge success by effort, not acclaim. Or the employee seeking promotion. Deliver excellence, but if denied, don't crumble. Perhaps the boss was biased, or timing off, externals all. Reframe it not as failure, but as a detour. This mindset shift isn't easy. It demands vigilance. But imagine the liberation. No longer a puppet to fortune's whims, you become the architect of your inner world. Building on this foundation are Stoicism's 4 cardinal virtues, timeless pillars that guide the undefeatable life. First, wisdom. The discernment to separate internal from external, choosing responses with clarity. As Viktor Frankl echoed centuries later, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose. But what if harnessing this space required courage, the second virtue? Courage means to persist and resist, facing fears head-on without retreat. It's not bravado, but quiet endurance. Temperance follows, the art of moderation, doing more with less, as in speaking volumes with few words. In an era of excess, where billionaires hoard while needs go unmet, Stoics advocate limits. Enough is essential, not endless accumulation. Finally, Justice, the crowning virtue. Do no harm, for we exist to uplift one another, not ourselves. Nelson Mandela embodied this after 27 years imprisoned under apartheid. Emerging not vengeful, but visionary, he drew from Marcus Aurelius to urge reconciliation. The past is beyond control, he implied. Focus on building anew. Justice demands we see humanity in all, fostering unity amid division. These virtues aren't relics, they pulse in modern psychology. Rational emotive behavioral therapy, REBT, mirrors Stoic logic. Challenge irrational beliefs fueling anxiety. I must succeed or I'm worthless, and replace them with grounded truths. Logotherapy, Viktor Frankl's creation forged in Nazi camps, asserts our drive for meaning endures even in suffering. Find purpose, and darkness yields light. Stoicism rewires the mind. Out with dependency on externals, in with self-mastery. But here's the profound question lingering. In practicing this, do we merely survive, or do we transcend? As we navigate life's tempests, personal losses, global uncertainties, Stoicism steers us to calmer shores. It teaches that even if the ship sinks, a life lived with virtue is its own triumph. Everything ends, yes, but how we meet that end defines us. Embrace Stoicism not as a doctrine, but as a living breath. Become undefeatable, not by conquering the world, but by mastering the one realm truly yours, yourself. What storm will you reframe today?